Oh, well, hang on.
So if you can see this, we are streaming. And if you can't see this and I'm talking to no one, then
Oh,
shut up.
it's because it's unlisted, so I can't. I have to have the
Okay.
link.
All right. So now I'm going to copy the link, make a new Patreon post so people can go to the Patreon to find it. Great. Post. Stream. Mm, mm, mm. Verify you are human. Thank you. YouTube Live. Paste. Motherfucker. Mm. Fuck. Why did that just happen? I'm going to literally set myself on fire. Edit post.
Hey, Chaos and Comics is here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, looks like it.
Neat. Okay. So the Patreon thing is live. Should someone post the YouTube here? I'll post this in the chat. Studio chat. Gonna post this. This is the YouTube link. I don't know if people want to connect that way. And
Oh, there we go.
yeah. Okay. Chaos and Comics. Okay. All right. We got at least got someone. We got two people in the room. We got two people in the room. We're doing good. We are considered a success now.
We're figuring it out.
Yeah. So hello to everyone who's watching. I don't know if you're watching um from YouTube or from Riverside or from YouTube or somewhere in between. But how you doing? Welcome in. I'm gonna close 50 million tabs that I had open because I was having a freak out because I thought I fucked up the stream and didn't know what I was doing. Okay, Ian's here. That's awesome. We got three people here. All right. Cool beans. Beans are cool right now. Welcome in, everyone. This is the Patreon live stream monthly extravaganza that we're trying to do. We told you there was going to be hiccups, and hiccups there are. I didn't know how to connect anything, but now we're connected, so it doesn't matter. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Mike Vargas talking to
Oh,
you.
you're
I'm not
talking to me.
talking. I'm not
Hey,
talking to the world at large now.
doing fine, Greg. Glad to be here. You know, it's rare you get to sit down, especially at an age like ours, who stays in touch with their friends. Not many of us. What a treat to have you both here, and thank you for inviting me to this special occasion where we're streaming ourselves.
Why did that sound condescending? What? That was such a beautiful sentiment, and the entire time I was like, "Does he mean that?
I'm normally
Does he mean that?"
cruel. I'm normally so cruel.
You're very backhanded, but I love it. Andy, good to see you.
It's good to see you boys. It's the highlight of my week every week. Getting to talk comics. I actually made it to the comic book store this week.
Oh
So I
shit!
got to pick up new books and touch them with my hands.
Did you need a U-Haul to load all those single issues out of there?
Dude, this is the Patreon, right?
Yeah.
Clint's didn't have half the shit I wanted, and I will lay half of the blame on Diamond because they're going through what they're going through,
Mm-hmm.
and they haven't been delivering books basically all year. Uh, but man, I didn't get like almost anything. I didn't get the new Alien book. I didn't get the new Horizon experiment. I didn't get
Oh, Finders Keepers.
yeah.
Mm.
I was just so much shit that was just not in my pull box because
So-
Clint's didn't get it.
Longtime listeners will know that Clint's is the bane of our existence. It's the oldest shop in Kansas City, and they it's like in a marriage that has crumbled, but they're staying together for the kids. It's just like they know that people are going to come no matter what, so they've just stopped trying, and now they just walk around the house all day in a robe, eating chocolate covered pretzels and just kind of mumbling to themselves. When I used to go there, the ceiling would drip because
Yeah.
the roof was
It's
in disrepair.
destroyed now, man.
And so it was like a swamp.
Yeah.
And they would have their books covered in like plastic wrap,
Tarp,
as if
yeah.
that was the solution.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. Andy, you went what yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah.
Can you
It's-
update us on the
The state.
condition of Clint's?
Is it an open air comic shop at this
Yeah,
point?
is it
Oh, I mean,
more-
almost seriously. It's
Yeah.
it's rough. Apparently they're getting it fixed.
sure.
But it's like every book in there it smells musty and
Oh.
you know, basically like 3 times a year we'll get a heavy rain and it'll just ruin everything in the store that's not already ruined.
Yeah, it gives all the books like waves. Like
Yes.
it's just like the moisture in the air just decimates every piece of paper in that place.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
rumor is the rumor about Clint's is that the old owner, Jim, who's been in the comic game for a long time, who passed away, has every Marvel comic book published in the basement of Clint's. And I can only imagine how fucked those books are, because I doubt there's a dehumidifier down in the dungeon
They
of
might be
Clint's.
they might be better because there's no rain getting through the floor.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, they're all getting absorbed in the back issues
Yeah,
on top.
exactly.
But
It's
who
all the new
knows how
stuff.
temperature controlled that place is down there either.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it could be a
Ugh.
vault down there. You know,
Terrible to
nobody
think
knows.
about.
More like a catacomb than a vault.
Well, you know, at what point does a wine cellar become a wine catacomb? You know,
It's a good question. Well, it's good to see you guys. I have a few things on the docket to kind of get us warmed up for the Patreon. We have a few topics to talk about. We want to get into the Daredevil trailer that dropped 2 days ago.
Yep.
Is that right?
Mhm.
Yesterday, 2 days ago.
Yesterday.
We'll talk about the new announcement of the Switch sequel. It feels weird calling it like the
yeah. Switch.
they're calling
to
it the
Electric
Switch
Boogaloo.
2. Just
The
call it something different.
successor to the Switch.
Okay. Switch 2.0. And kind of what we hope comes from that. As far, I don't know if we're gonna get into games we want to see or system requirements or frames per minute if we really want to get down to the details of the nitty gritty. But we'll get into that as the episode goes on. And then feel free in the comment section to just ask us a question, or if you have a topic that you want us to discuss, feel free to do so. This is a place where we will not make fun of you. If you have a question, this is a fun zone. This isn't, I don't know, Joe Rogan. I feel like Joe Rogan would make fun of people on his podcast if he had a chat area. So be not afraid and make your voices heard. This is fun. This is fun times. We're live streaming. Who knows who's watching? Jim Lee could be watching this right now. Who knows?
Hey, Jim.
Jim, classic First Issue Club Patreon member. Okay, let's get into some superhero playlists that I have concocted. This is
Okay.
a game we play where I give you a song and then 2 superheroes, and you have to kind of decide amongst yourself which playlist would this song be on for the superheroes I listed.
Okay.
So first up, we have "Somebody's Watching Me" by Rockwell. Are you familiar with the song?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Michael Jackson does the chorus, right?
He does the chorus. No
Yeah.
one knows why.
Rockwell must have had the inside scoop on
On
Michael
Bubbles.
Jackson's nefarious deeds before everyone else.
He was the one watching Michael Jackson.
He was an absolute nobody.
And remains a nobody to this day.
Yeah, I want to say there's maybe something where he is like the son of a record mogul or something, or like had some kind of nepotism connection, and that's how they got Michael Jackson on
The
that
little known
track.
Kermit the Frog song.
The
The
nepotism
connection. My dad owns a car lot. And me. Okay, so Somebody's Watched Me by Rockwell. Is it Leech? The Morlock Leech or Legion?
I think.
No joke. It should be Daredevil, right? But
Oh boy, Eye-Boy.
Okay.
On the X-Men. Did you know Eye-Boy? So me and Greg have a friend named Trevor Hawkins. Eye-Boy in X-Men. His name is Trevor Hawkins. Isn't that funny?
Does Trevor know that?
I sent him a picture of Eye-Boy. Yeah. Look what you've earned.
He's
in
like,
life.
I don't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care at all.
If it's not about fishing or making a movie, I don't care.
Okay, I left a message in the chat. Have we confirmed that people can? Oh wait, switch to switch. Okay, the chat is ongoing, just not scrolling for me. Why doesn't it scroll?
so
No, it's been scrolling for me.
Has
the
it?
ch-
Okay,
the
maybe
chat that you are seeing, Mike D and Greg, is in Riverside. That's getting pulled from YouTube,
Oh,
it-
weird.
but it
okay.
doesn't go the other direction.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if we want to chat back, you got to pull up YouTube and chat. But
Oh
I
my
will-
god, this is so fucked.
Okay.
I will monitor. I'm in YouTube right now.
Okay. Great.
Chatting.
Okay.
Should be the
Okay,
Watcher.
so
It should. Yeah.
it
it's
should
either
be
Daredevil
the
or
Derek,
the
you're
Watcher.
right. Derek, damn it.
Okay. Here's my thing. Initially, I was like, when you think about the content of the song, I was like, oh, Legion, because he's got like whole universes in his brain, right? And it's like a high level paranoia song that somebody with like that sort of mind palace is going to have that kind of paranoia. However, if the question is who would actually listen to this song,
Mm-hmm.
like Legion in my mind is listening to like Static X, speed metal,
Power Man 5000, right?
Power
yeah.
Man 5000 type stuff, right? And is like would never even ironically listen to Rockwell, whereas all of your mutants in the sewers are
The
kind
Morlocks,
of
yeah.
the Morlocks are kind of like, I don't know, they feel very 80s to me. They're
Well, that's the last time they saw sunlight, so that makes sense.
yeah, they're like kind of counterculture in a way where they might actually like put on some of these like weirder old pop songs. The son of
Interesting.
Barry Gordy. Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what it is. The guy
Well-
who started Motown Records. That's the only way that makes sense that you would ever have Michael Jackson on that song. It's like the chorus is like incredible, and then the rest of it is like, what? It's like a Halloween parody song.
Yeah. Legion listens to dad metal only. That's fair.
AKA Ghost.
That's fair.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so we're thinking Leech then would just be like jam into this, and
Totally.
Yep.
Legion
Callisto
would
and
think it's pretty
Leech have
blasé.
Rockwell on in the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred.
Uh-huh.
We have Strong Guy and Colossus.
Oh, Colossus all the way.
Yeah.
Bro, really?
all the way.
I think so too.
I would
This
think
is-
Strong Guy. He's like huge.
Yeah, he's huge. Where's Strong Guy from?
It doesn't matter.
I
Colossus
don't
is
know.
from Russia.
Pennsylvania.
Colossus is from Russia, and I feel like there is a little bit of that phenomena.
First
where
chat mission. Go find out where Strong Guy's from.
I feel like there is that phenomenon where you, like, people from Russia are just get American culture like way later, because it's just like it has to have permeated like so deep into culture to
Mhm.
make its way, at least like pre-internet age. And so
yeah,
I can see
it's like 2008 right now in
Yeah.
Russia.
I could see Colossus showing up and being like, yeah, like this is a party song, right? And everybody else is like, no, dude, we're over it.
No,
We're
take
over
off your
it.
fishnet tank top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Colossus all the way, man.
Interesting. I for sure would have said Strong Guy, but
Can you tell us why? Just because he's like a power lifter looking good dude?
yeah, he just seems like he'd be the guy at Muscle Beach. He has those like super small sunglasses, the
Mhm.
little Charlie Brown curl in front, and he's just ginormous. And like most shirts probably don't fit this dude. So
And his name's Guido, right?
I think so.
I feel like a Guido is the type to like unironically maybe listen to this song. Ian wrote Rah Rah Rasputin.
Rah, rah, Rasputin.
Just like before he joins the X-Men, Colossus was like a background
Just in his
dancer
Zubas and in the discotheque.
in the discotheque. Yeah.
Just the disco ball shining off his metal skin, like refracting off of it.
Oh, it'd be beautiful. He is the disco ball, right? He just
Yeah.
takes his clothes off, hangs from a chain attached to the ceiling,
Yeah.
refracts light everywhere.
I'm
Pulls a
refraining
Miley.
from expanding upon that even
Yeah.
further because I want to mind my P's and Q's for the
Russia's
first live
greatest
stream.
love machine.
Okay, next up we have Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper. We have Jubilee or She-Hulk.
Ooh, that's a toughie. It feels like a guilty pleasure for Jen. Like,
Yeah.
like she'd blast in her car, but turn it off before she opened the door.
And
I
okay,
don't-
one of the things about Jen Walters is like female friendships and what those mean, and getting together with the girlies. Like that's been a through line for those for a long time. Whereas like I don't know, maybe this was just like the era of X-Men where I was absorbing the most Jubilee, but was kind of like a punk ass kid who had like teenage attitude, was definitely more like of a grunge era. Like I think about like Gen X a lot when I think about Jubilee. And yeah, I just picture her listening to like Pearl Jam and Nirvana.
Yeah.
Well, she was a bit of a mall rat when they first introduced her as
That
well.
is, yeah, that is true, isn't it?
So, I mean, I think this one, I think I put this one on here because I can see them both listening to it. You know what I mean?
Who listens to it more? She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk for sure.
Okay. All right.
But they
one
bond
I-
over the song.
Yeah, sure.
If Jubilee's had enough drinks, she's singing along unabashedly.
Yeah.
If it comes on, she's kind of like Katy Perry fireworks. Yeah, totally.
Next up, Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne. We have Werewolf by Night or Wolf's Bane.
I think
Wolfsbane is a good little Catholic girl. She's not listening to.
If you knew
Ozzy.
anything about Catholic girls, you
Yeah,
know that
but-
they
but
bark at the
she's-
moon.
she's not like, I feel like Werewolf by Night is like, oh, I reject my wolf side. I can't let anyone see. Whereas Wolfbane is like, oh,
Just
it's
all,
funny
wolf all the
because
time.
yeah, I'm singing the song because it's funny because I'm a werewolf.
Yeah. I don't know. I can see Werewolf by Night just kind of indulging in it. You know, I mean, like, do you think he's like just so separated from the werewolf self, where he's just like ashamed of it, or
Yeah.
Hmm.
And he's like totally emo about it. He writes in his diary and like, come on.
squandered powers? Then
Okay,
let somebody else be a werewolf.
Yeah.
I'll cede to you on that one then. I think like OG Wolfsbane would like do 40 Hail Marys if she heard that song based on like early New Mutants comics. But now anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, she's kind of taken power over her whole deal and
Like picture this. Negasonic Teenage Warhead shows her Ozzy.
mhm,
Ozzy Osbourne.
She's gonna be like, oh, that's funny.
yeah.
Oh, that man bit the head off of a bat. Or was it? It was a dove. Sorry, it wasn't a bat. I gotta get my Ozzy Osbourne. Right. That's sorry. That's all of them. That's all the playlist I got for you guys.
Oh,
Get out of here.
That's a good game. That's a good game you came up with, Greg.
salute.
Thank
Salute
you.
to Greg. 76 Greg Bones.
Careful.
That's what you get.
I got a new R. Crumb shirt. I don't know if you guys can see it or not.
It's pretty sick.
I don't like him.
You don't like R. Crumb?
No.
Too
I
weird
heard he
for
was
you.
a shitty guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Who isn't? I mean, come on now.
That's kind of a bummer.
Well, I'll throw this shirt away then. It's good to know.
Speaking
Moving
of
on.
shitty guys, I'm still bummed about Neil Gaiman. Have you guys seen all the new shit that's come out?
I saw
Oh,
there was like
God.
an article about the article, but I haven't read the actual expose.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's one of those things you have to have a subscription to read. I couldn't when I clicked on the first link I saw, it was like
Mhm.
sign up. So
Yeah, I read. I mean, I guess it wasn't the article because I think it was like a Vanity Fair or Variety article
Yeah.
or something. But I read,
Right.
yeah, like a synopsis of it, and boy, oh boy,
It's not good.
it's really bad.
It's not good.
It's not good at all.
And when you read the article, it's for me, it was pretty easy to just cut that dude completely off. Like,
yeah,
just it was very easy just to sever that attachment to his previous works and whatever, because it's just like, oh, you're the devil, so I can just safely distance myself from any of this shit.
yeah, it sucks when yet again somebody that at least I'll speak for myself, somebody that
Mhm.
I idolized that you really think is like one of the good guys ends up being a bad guy.
Well, and I wouldn't feel off about that, Vargas, because he did portray himself as like a feminist writer and like an ally, and then I think that's where the whiplash is coming from. Is just like people kind of trusted him as a source of just like a level-headed human that you know
Yeah.
was a good person and spoke truths and wasn't an abuser or you know a monster to be feared. And when this stuff starts coming out, you're just like, who do you believe anymore? Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
you can't really trust anyone but the reflection in the mirror at this point, which is like, I guess a thing just to always do. It's just it's hard to know who people really are at their core, but to go that long in the industry that Neil Gaiman did, as to be perceived as like a trusted and respected creator, and then all of a sudden just to be like it's like a rug pull, and it's just and to have it hidden for so long from the public is just nuts.
Yeah. And yeah, Trevor's got it exactly right for the women and the fans, right? Like obviously we're all speaking as fans, but like it's difficult for me to like even comprehend doing that to a person, let alone someone
Mhm.
who you have power over, you know? It just
Yeah.
bums me out. Bad news all around.
the guy who wrote Coraline, who
And-
would have thought?
And Sandman and Marvel 1402 or whatever, and
Good Omens, which is just weird to think about.
American Gods. It just
Thank God Terry Pratchett's passed away. He didn't get to see what a piece of shit Neil Gaiman is.
for real.
It does, like, for me personally, like on a fan level, it does make it worse that you're like, this guy clearly understands what makes someone an abuser and what makes someone an ally, right? Like,
Mhm.
he's written enough stuff, to your point, Greg, about like women and feminism that it's like you fully understand what you're doing and you're still doing it. Not that
Yeah,
not that not understanding the depth of like your cruelty gives you like a pass. It's just extra hurtful as like friends like fans who've created a relationship with a creator based on this ideal of who they are.
yeah. He was like a chameleon in the worst sense of like being able to essentially walk in both worlds of respected creator in a world where he's like pretending to be something he's not, and then just like in the other world of depraved, just grossness.
Yeah, and then
Anyway,
the thing that really gets me is that Ian put in chat his defense has been like no denial, but his defense was like it was consensual, which goes basically nowhere, you know.
right.
It just gets my goat, bums me out. There's a lot of bummer news out there.
Yeah, and like and we'll talk about more of the bummer news on the main episode with Diamond, and I guess that's not really a bummer news. It's more just like a whoopsie. Stepped on
mean,
a rake.
It can potentially be bummer news for indie books. You know,
I don't think
Image
I
Image
don't think
isn't
so.
on Diamond anymore. You can only get them through Lunar.
Yeah, I think someone's gonna swoop in and buy them, so it's gonna be fine. I'm sure Elon Musk will get in there and he'll
Dude,
fix
stop.
everything.
Stop.
Well, do we know, like, I looked at all the money they owe to different companies and it's like colossal.
It's like in the billions.
Yeah. So, no, it's not in the billions. The Diamond owes
Is it 8 million?
they owe one company 9 million that I read, and then there's
Okay.
another company they owe 4 million, and then it's like
That's a billion. You add them
Oh.
together, that's a billion.
a lot smaller numbers after that. But what was I gonna go with that?
I think you were going to suggest
we-
that we buy Diamond.
Do we know? Yeah, I've got 12 mil.
Sick.
Just 2 more Patreon members and we'll be able to do it.
Do we know why they weren't able to pay these people? Was it like a mismanagement of funds? Like, they haven't gotten specific about like
Mm-mm.
why they're in so much debt, and if it's just because like the model they're running is so unsuccessful and unsustainable that like anyone who buys this thing is going to end up inheriting like a debt machine, then why would anybody buy it? I just like that's a part of it I don't understand.
I kind of wonder if Diamond was functioning like on a paycheck to paycheck basis kind of thing.
Mhm.
Like they were just hobbling along and because everyone was still on Diamond. And then when DC left and Image left and slowly people started leaving,
Maybe they didn't
their
right
revenue
size the
started
company.
yeah, the revenue started drying up. So
They
it's
probably needed to lay off like half their staff and didn't, and before they know
No.
it, they're like
Yeah.
in the hole.
Yeah, I think it's very easy for that stuff to snowball for companies that
Yeah.
go through a rapid change like they did. It wasn't
Especially
the fact
after
that they
COVID.
weren't saving money or making a bad product. It's just that people were leaving in flocks
Mhm.
from their program. So it's just like, you know, you can't really predict that happening. So, I mean, it sucks, but I would think as a business, you would have to be able to learn how to pivot and diversify.
That's
Yeah,
your
but
number
what-
one financial podcast. Pivot, diversify. Always diversify your bonds, guys.
Wait, what's the name of the podcast? Pivot or Pivot Diversify?
It's just a financial podcast. What does FIC stand for now?
Financial Institute Club.
Yeah, Financial
Company.
Institute Club. Perfect. You nailed it in one, Vargas.
Member FIC. Anyway, yeah, we'll talk about it more on the Patreon, but I don't know. I don't know how James and Darla Diamond are gonna make it after this, but hopefully
Yes, the diamonds.
the diamonds.
Keep them in your prayers, everyone.
Thoughts and pre-orders for all the members of Diamond. Let's talk about this Daredevil trailer.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
The newest Daredevil trailer, well, the trailer dropped for the Disney Plus show, revealed a lot. We got to see some returning characters and some returning friendly faces to the Daredevil franchise, plus the new antagonist, which is Muse, which we all kind of knew was happening.
Mhm.
Daredevil has a bunch of fancy new costumes in his closet that he gets to choose from at random, which I don't know why, but I'm sure
I
it'll
just
be
saw the
explained.
gold one. Are there a bunch?
Yeah, he's got the gold one, a couple different like black ones.
Yeah, there's a gray
Oh,
one and
yeah.
then the classic red. So,
Okay, cool.
you know, he's a little fashion diva. Always
They
got
can-
to have his change of clothes.
I like that they're just like not ignoring the She-Hulk tie-in then.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
That's the whole thing with his like wardrobe and attire.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Um,
I was worried that this was gonna be like an extremely watered down version of the Daredevil we loved on Netflix because it was moving to Disney Plus. That does not appear to be the case at all. I was super intrigued by like it seeming like Wilson Fisk and Matt are like sitting down in a diner having a chat. Ian.
Ian says he thinks they're all the same color.
that's funny.
But
I
it
gotta stop
seems
saying,
like I don't know if we're going into this being like, hey, it seems like the way we're going into this is like these guys haven't beefed in 5 years. And are they coming to the table now as like, hey, now that I'm running a city
Mhm.
and I see this stuff going on, like I need you back as Daredevil, or if they're gonna like butt heads. I think it'd be an interesting angle if Wilson Fisk was like, get the outfit back on, buddy. It's like your
Oh, like
city
he
needs you.
like he did with Thunderbolts. Where
Yeah,
he made
right.
them like part of the police force or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be interesting. That he'd be like, my city, my reputation in the city is getting bad because there's all these like crazy serial killers like Muse, and we can't track this guy down. And I've tried everything. Like, can you do something about this? Like, your city needs you. Like, I don't know. I would hate for this to just be like a complete rehash of like another Daredevil season that's already happened. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, classic epic feud, Daredevil versus Kingpin. I'm not going to complain too much, but it seemed to me like there might be some sort of collaboration.
I like that idea, Mike D.
Hmm.
Because that gives that gives Matt Murdock a lot to wrestle with, where he's like working
Yeah.
for this known villain, but also he clearly wants to be Daredevil again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, real heat vibes from the sit down between Fisk and Mac. Totally. Have you guys seen Heat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That grab a coffee scene.
Yep.
Totally. Totally.
Here's my wish for this series. Like, obviously it's cool to see Punisher back.
Mhm.
Like, that's awesome to see him just like Unabomber style, just grizzled beard and disheveled hair, just like he's clearly going through some shit. I'm okay. My camera was freaking out. Apparently, I was being abducted for a minute. We get a little glimpse of White Tiger, who is going to be
Oh,
like
okay.
another vigilante
I
running
didn't
around the
know
city.
that.
Yeah, we
God,
got
I
a
missed so
quick
much.
picture of a person putting on like the white tiger garb, real quick. Bullseye's back,
Excellent.
which is dope.
I did catch that.
I'm interested to see how they, because I don't know how many episodes this is gonna be. Let's put it that way.
I-
So
I heard it was like 12 when they were initially doing it. Like it was going to be a big old fat season.
so then that opens it up for Muse is the first 6 episodes, right? And then we get into the fallout between Fisk and maybe more Bullseye kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that would make a lot of sense. But I'm really hoping that maybe towards the end of the episode they bring the Defenders back. I've been looking for a reason for them to bring back, you know, my guy Power Man and Jessica Jones and Iron Fist. Like I feel like that show and those separate shows were just good enough on their own to like come back into the Disney Plus fold, whether it be just through Daredevil or in their own right. But like the perfect casting for all that, aside maybe from Iron Fist, everyone can have their opinion on it. But I mean, Luke Cage was an amazing series.
Yeah.
So to have those like castings and characters squandered, I'm hoping that they can somehow arrange it to have those people come back.
And we had left off with the last season of Iron Fist. Left off with what's her name? Kind of becoming Iron Fist.
Wong, Allison.
Yeah, Allison Wong.
Oh, yeah.
Which was kind of their way of like, hey, we hear everybody. We should have updated this character,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody likes this guy anyway. let's
Well,
let's
but
nerf him and make him like and change the character to an Asian person in the cast that everyone already like loves.
But
And
they
so I was
they
excited
also
to see what that was gonna be next.
they also teased the Ed Brubaker Matt Fraction run at the end of that Iron Fist season 2, where he like guns back to Kunlun and does the Tournament of Heavens.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
'Cause
sure.
that shit would be wild.
Didn't he have like Power Man or Iron Fist like guns at the end of season 2?
Yeah, that was the other Iron Fist. That's Orson Randall,
Okay.
the Iron Fist before Danny Rand.
That's pretty sweet. Oh, give me a break. Let me just mute your feed real quick.
Can you guys believe this?
Didn't we just talk about gatekeeping in the last episode?
This fucking new guy over here doesn't know Orson Randall.
I bet you can't even find Kunlun on a map, you piece of shit.
Oh yeah, name 3 songs.
Name 4 Iron Fists.
Name 4 Iron.
Speaking of Kunlun, are they ever gonna do another Shang-Chi movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
They are? Okay.
Uh-huh.
That first one I really liked.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And Simu Liu has like stayed really famous, it seems like. So
Yeah.
If
And
they can-
super handsome.
and if
He
they
is yet to get ugly.
that
so
seems like a slam dunk if they did another one of those.
I think
They
they
should do
just
Shang-Chi
yeah.
versus Iron Fist.
Ooh. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty smart.
Oh my god. So humble, this guy.
Greg's sick of me today.
Did we see Elektra in the Daredevil trailer?
No.
No, okay, I didn't think
if you
so.
squint hard, sure. You know?
I wonder if that'll be a surprise. I mean, they've already
Oh.
brought her back from the dead once.
We did see Wilson Fisk's son.
Ah, the Rose.
Yeah. So that could lead to some pretty interesting interactions.
Yep.
Will
Ian, I
Fisk?
also want an Agent of Atlas movie. So,
Dude, yeah, Agents of Atlas would be sick. Get
That'd be so
Amadeus Cho
awesome.
up in there.
yep. Kevin Hart as the giant gorilla. Got to put him in somewhere, I think.
But yeah, honestly, if they do another crossover thing, more than Defenders, I would rather them do like Daredevil and Spider-Man take on organized crime that if they did a Rose Kingpin kind of thing, or if the Kingpin was like, hey, I need your help taking down this new crime family because I'm losing control of this stuff, and then it turns out to be his son, and then Spider-Man and Daredevil take him down, and then he's got this vendetta, not with just with the son, but with these guys who maybe accidentally killed the Rose or something. Like, that would be sick.
Totally. It would be cool to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man kind of get into the dirty, like the gritty Daredevil stuff.
Get into the dirty.
Yeah.
Get really in the muck with Daredevil.
Yeah.
Is that on like the Marvel timeline yet of like releases?
What?
Which one?
Sorry, I didn't finish my thought, I guess. The next Spider-Man movie.
No, not.
Well-
it hasn't been revealed.
Yeah, it hasn't been revealed. There is a script out there. Tom
Okay.
Holland has a script. So
Mhm.
yeah, Brad
Uh,
says he wants Tombstone in live action. Totally agree.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I think like this Daredevil series opens up an opportunity to do like a big gang war thing with all of the
Yeah,
like
totally.
New York characters. That would be sick. And then again, like in the tone of something like Heat would be like fucking so cool.
Yeah.
I think there's enough just brutish Daredevil and Spider-Man rogues that are just like street level thugs that like this show could go on for 15 years and never run out of stories.
Yeah.
Bring in White Rabbit for all I care. I do not give a shit.
I love White Rabbit.
I always get the White Rabbits confused.
I know
Just-
there's a DC White Rabbit and a Marvel White Rabbit.
Yeah.
I love the first appearance of the Marvel White Rabbit. Such a good cover. She's with Spider-Man, and I think she's got like it's like is it a Spider-Man team up book? The frog guy has like mounted head in the background.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
it is.
talking
It is.
about?
It is. It is. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, Ironheart is still happening.
Yes.
I keep forgetting about that. I feel like there's no way that does well.
Ooh, Anna Kendrick White Rabbit. That'd be fun.
Yeah, she'd be great.
Yeah, Ironheart. Ironheart is my gamble of 2025. I think she had a very rushed intro in the Black Panther sequel.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we were supposed to really emotionally attach to that character.
I'd love to see her though, like work with Rhodey,
Yeah.
and build.
There should
towards
be an Armor Wars TV show, but that got canned. So I don't know
They're
what's
making them.
happening.
They're making it a movie now.
Well, I'll believe it when I see it.
Who's making Spider-Man Noir?
Nicholas.
Oh,
Cage.
Amazon.
Amazon. Okay, that's right.
Well, it's with Nicolas Cage, so I am completely on board with it.
So sick. Did you guys see those behind the scenes production pictures?
Yeah, he painted himself black and white. It was gross.
Well, it's got like it's a stunt guy, but it's like Nicolas Cage on top of like an old 40s car in Spider-Man
Dude,
gear.
It's going to rule.
It's gonna be so good.
It's going to kick ass. It's like, let's make the Maltese Falcon, but with superheroes.
Okay, you
So
sold me.
funny. Okay, did you see Spider Woman has a director? And it's Olivia Wilde.
Are they making a movie
What?
or a TV show?
I think it's a
Is this like a fan casting? What are you doing
no,
here?
I think it's a spin-off of the Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse thing.
Oh, okay.
That
Hell yeah.
that
I'm good with that.
that Jessica Drew that's like was pregnant on the motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me
I
that.
think this is a thing about her.
Give me
Cool.
that. Black Eyed Peas.
Olivia
Um,
Wilde's directing. Has she directed anything?
I think
Olivia
she-
Wilde? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she has a handful of things.
I want to say like episodes of House or something. I don't know.
What?
Has she
House
directed a movie?
It's on her credits.
She directed 13 Ghosts.
Oh yeah, that's right. Of
Right.
course.
Well, in the prequel, 12 Ghosts.
And the sequel, Ghosts 14. That's where
Ghosts
the
11.
the Ghosts rob.
They had to-
Don't worry, darling.
had to
That's right.
form
She
up.
directed that.
It's like a Weekend at Bernie's thing where they're like, there's 11 ghosts in my body. Oh, fuck. I would watch that. Pixar, are you listening? 11 ghosts take over one body.
The big one was "Don't Worry, Darling." Do you remember that whole like controversy over the?
Oh, Chris Pine and
Yep.
Harry Styles
Yep.
spit in his lap or something.
Yep.
Or then maybe that's the sex dream I had.
Oh, Lord.
Do you think that was drummed up controversy to make the film?
I don't think that was planned.
No.
No.
So Harry Styles legitimately spit on Chris.
No, I don't
No,
think
he
he
did
did.
not.
I think he just moved his mouth in a way that like looked like he might have spit, and then Chris Pine just happened to react to something at the same time. Like
Okay.
it's
So it's
not.
like a Hall of
it's-
Mirrors thing. It's like
yeah, it's not clear and obvious at all.
so I'm like looking at like the Zapruder film of just like there's a second spitter
Back and to the left.
like on the grassy knoll, Harry Styles
Mhm.
Back
hawked a
to
loogie
the
at
left.
11:04 and Chris Pine at 11:05 looked at his crotch.
Yeah.
I feel like fucking Dale Gribble over here on King of the Hill.
Back and to the left. Is that
Back into
JFK?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that movie?
JFK.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I'm an idiot. I thought that was Ace Ventura.
They parody it in
That's
a lot of
Laces Out.
movies. All right.
What else you got?
I have here. If Mike, you don't have anything pressing you want to do,
Go for it. No, nothing that's a really high
nothing
priority.
that you're chomping at the bit to just get in.
Right.
I want to test your guys' temperature on 10 Marvel storylines to look forward to in 2025.
Okay, awesome. These are
Let's hear
like
it.
things that have popped up in previews or something.
Yeah. So first up, we have Strange of Asgard. Doctor Strange undergoes an identity crisis after losing the title of Sorcerer Supreme.
Okay, hang on. When I first hear Strange of Asgard,
Sex
I'm
thing.
like, I'm like, these are all the like
These are all porn parodies that
porn
I've
parodies.
pitched to different studios.
all the Valkyries that are
So
like,
Doctor
"Hey,
Strange
baby."
calls a plumber over, right? Because his sink's not working. Then his stepdaughter gets stuck in the dryer.
Terrible. Sorry,
Um,
continue.
Doctor Strange of Asgard is written by Derek Landy and artist Carlos Magno. It's basically Doctor Strange in the magical world of Asgard, just trying to figure out who he is. So it's backpacking through Europe after college just to find who you are. Smoking some clove cigarettes, doing your thing.
That sounds like cool and unique. Doctor Strange is one of those characters that like I occasionally try to dip into
Mm-hmm.
and like never really find the thing that keeps me around, or just like I'm buying so many other like X-Men and Spider-Man comics that like if I'm not just like so in love with it, then I bail on it so fast. So it sounds like a cool concept. I'll read the first issue because we're a first issue podcast, and then I'll probably be done with it. That doesn't sound like something I'll like pull.
I'm jazzed about it because
Yeah.
every time they do this, like, Doctor Strange kind of changes his bit, it's always really good. Like when Mark Waid wrote Surgeon Supreme, and he
Mhm.
was like having to balance being, going back to being a doctor with being the Sorcerer Supreme. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And then Jed McKay's Strange, where Clea was the Sorcerer Supreme, and I guess it's fine to spoil it, but
Now-
Doctor Strange comes back from the dead as the Harvestman.
Mhm.
That shit was awesome.
And going into 2025, Doom is Sorcerer Supreme. Is that right?
Yeah, after Doctor Strange gave up the power to help end Blood Hunt.
Yeah. So that would be why he's trying to kind of figure himself out right now.
Yeah, so he's still a powerful, sorcerer, a powerful magician, but he's not the sorcerer supreme.
And he no longer has. Does he not have the Eye of Agamotto anymore? Yeah.
Nope.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when he was the Hand of the King for God Emperor Doom, that was during Secret Wars. That was awesome too. He was
Yep.
like the advisor. That was sick.
I'm so glad I went back and read that. I remember I just had like I did not like it the first time around just because there was so much space in between and so many delays for that run. And Hickman's already kind of hard to follow as it is sometimes. But on second read, it was so rad.
It's so dope.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see what Secret Wars is in the MCU because I think
Mhm.
it's going to take more notes from that than it is from OG Secret Wars.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean I think that's what this whole like new phase with Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Doom
Yeah.
is setting up.
And you wonder, is there a plan to pull Miles Morales from cartoon Sonyverse into
100%.
like proper like plan like
Oh, it has
all
to.
this stuff has canonically happened in these different universes. Now we're collapsing them into a singular thing. Like that's such a fucking cool idea.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and they already like did that crossover stuff. They had Tom Holland's Spider-Man show up in Spider-Verse. They had
Mhm.
uh what was it? The Prowler.
Oh, Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover showed up as the Prowler in that Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So I think there's no way they don't bring that stuff in and have Miles show up for sure.
Brad asked what we thought Imperial was going to be from Jonathan Hickman. I've been wondering that a lot too. There, it seems like everything they announce Jonathan Hickman is going to do, it's just like,
One fucking word.
what is it? And then
It's two words, Greg. It's Hickman and then the title.
the,
Null is coming.
Too many
uh,
words.
but I remember like
Charles Barkley did.
speculating a ton over um what was like the magic order stuff that
Gods.
gods.
Yeah.
I speculated so much about what gods was, and I couldn't like none of it even sniffed what gods ended up being.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I've got no clue. It could end up being like so crucial and essential to Marvel lore, and it could just be like some quickly forgotten side story. Imperial Guard. It could be. It could be a Star Wars thing, is it not?
No,
It is not.
It's not.
Okay. That's honestly that didn't even occur to me, and now and then after like reading it, it's just like, oh, is it actually that? That's funny.
I read a theory that it is like some sort of event that has to do with like the Shi'ar Empire
Yeah.
or one of
Mhm.
those like cosmic,
Mm-hmm.
spacefaring whatever.
Well, so what I'm reading is that so you guys have touched on it, that the galactic leaders or the Imperials are like this giant police force or protectors of like the galaxy, right? Well, with the name Imperial, there's a tagline of nature abhors a vacuum. So people are speculating that somehow the Imperials have been killed. And so there's just maybe the event is going to be chaos reigning in the galaxy unchecked, and a new breed of Imperials either needs to be drafted or found to bring order back to the galaxy.
Or there's infighting for the
Mhm.
Imperial throne.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like
that
a Game
makes
of Thrones kind of thing.
Yeah.
That would make sense. It sounds very Hickman. I mean, I can't wait for the charts. Let's be real.
For the what?
The charts. Gotta have my charts.
Oh,
Gotta have my
charts,
graphs.
emails, dossiers, Slack messages. Ultimate Incursion. Marvel's new Ultimate Universe was one of the highlights of 2024. And as we move on to year 2, it appears that a crossover of some form is upon us. Jonathan Hickman and Brian Hitch kicked off the Ultimate Universe 2.0 in Ultimate Invasion, and soon we'll have Ultimate Incursion. This looks like it will spill out in all of the Ultimate books having the ultimate heroes and villains in each book, from Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Universe, and Wolverine, fighting against looks like to be the Maker or some kind of new mega villain. Thoughts? Surprised?
First, I'll say Brad mentioned the X-Men Imperial Guard, which was something that I totally forgot about. I thought we were talking about Star Wars. It was I think a Claremont thing at one point. Okay, in any case, ultimate stuff. It's too many other books to buy. Like, I liked right now that I can say, like, I like the X-Men thing, I like the Spider-Man thing, and I don't have to tune into the Ultimates and all that other stuff. All of it
Mhm.
sounds cool and awesome and rad, and I'm glad they're doing it, and I'm glad it's successful. But it's another thing that's just like it's too much, I think.
Ugh. This article speculating that Ultimate Incursion could be a crossover between the Ultimate Universe and Earth 616. No fucking thank you.
We already did that literally 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's called Secret Wars.
Yeah.
It's gonna be called
They're
Secret
gonna nix
Wars.
it that quick. They're like, we're we're getting to it a lot faster this time.
Secret Wars 3.
Uh, hey, it's gonna happen sooner or later, right?
Yeah.
2025, we'll see XVX, which is X-Men versus the X-Men. After the fall of Krakoa, the X-Men were kind of splintered off and formed different kind of groups or, bodies of X-Men all over the world, which leads to different ideals of how to run things and how to live in the world and what that means for mutant kind. So we're going to have our X-Men versus X-Men event in 2025. There's no attached writer or artist as of yet.
I'm really liking Nick's and Exceptional X-Men, and I feel like those books are really laying the groundwork for like people not being on the same page about like what it means to be a mutant and what it demands of you as like a person and responsibility and like how the world perceives you and how they should and all that stuff. And what God, who's the teacher that keeps being brought into all of these narratives? One of these mutants has been like a teacher and is kind of getting pulled in all these different directions and has like the his whole power is like absorbing the knowledge of like everyone he's around.
Mm-hmm.
And
Empath.
Yeah, and so he's kind of at this crux or crossroads in all these different stories, bopping in and out, where he's like feeling and speaking to each of these different wants and desires academically, which is like a really interesting thing. So it's X stuff. I'll buy this.
If you guys remember, Danny Rand died in Iron Fist 50th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was the huge kerfuffle with the QR code in the back of an issue where the skeletal hand of Danny Rand burst out from his grave, almost with a ghastly glow to it. So 2025 is speculated to see some form of either Danny Rand or Iron Fist coming back. The major, or I guess the predominant theory is that he is somehow merged with the Spirit of Vengeance. And so it's going to be like a Ghost Rider / Iron Fist amalgamation.
Yeah, tuck him somewhere else. I like the idea. Like, he's a legacy character that's been around for a long time.
Mhm.
Like, doesn't necessarily fit the role that he'd been in for a long time. Find another moniker for him or another deal for him and keep him a part of the Marvel landscape in just a different capacity. Like, I love that. That sounds great. I would love if he came back as like Thing from Addams Family, where he was like just a fist.
But kicking ass as like a fist.
Yeah, right. Like if Danny Rand was just a hand for like a while, I think that would be fucking awesome.
Danny Hand.
Danny Hand, yes. Can we
Marvel.
You
hit
were
us
right,
up.
Danny Hand.
We're gonna write this as like a zine that picks up where the QR code left off.
Him
I
trying to find a
love that.
job, get an apartment.
Yeah, right.
He's like a hand model in a magazine.
Mhm.
He like
As
moonlights as a flashlight for security guard in the evenings.
But he can still punch the fuck out of a guy.
Yeah.
as much as I love Iron Fist and Ghost Rider, I
Mhm.
kind of hate that we're to the point where it's like
There's too many Ghost Riders. That's
there's
for
too
sure.
many Ghost Riders.
We need
Too
to thin
many
that
Ghost
whole thing out.
Riders.
There's too many Ghost Riders. There's too many Spider-Men.
Yes.
There's too many. Who else? Venoms. There's too many Venoms.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Venoms.
We need a culling. We need to just start hacking away at these things.
Well, they did that with Venom, luckily.
Well, there's an event this year called
Venom War?
Spider-Verse v Venomverse,
Yes.
Mhm.
wherein these two fucking overgrown franchises are going to hopefully go at each other and just start hacking people away. Two entries into this world is going to be Web of Spider-Verse New Blood and Web of Venomverse Fresh Brains.
Yes.
And
Okay.
so
Good title.
I mean, I think Marvel's treating this as kind of like a fun B movie-esque
Yeah.
story series. Like, it's just like, hey, what if a dinosaur was Spider-Man? It's just like, oh, okay, that's kind of funny. But like, I hope they can contain it in there and just be done with it soon, because it
Mhm.
seems a little just kind of unruly, a lot of loose threads.
The Spider-Verse thing is such like a moneymaker now that I feel like it's kind of here to stay. But they're doing a better job of like Spider Society is its own little book, and then like the extra runs of things that kind of happen on the side are like very, very optional feeling that like you could read Amazing Spider-Man and not care about any of that stuff, and it's a footnote every once in a while, like, so I at least appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, I will totally back you up there on that, Mike D.
Cosigned by Vargas.
Yeah. But that shit needs to be its own completely optional, never to be crossed over bit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Another event coming out in 2025, Doom. Lots of Doom this year. One World
probably-
Under Doom, The
I'll
Will
probably-
of Doom, all that shit.
Pre-order a lot of like the World of Doom specific titles. There's no way I'm going to be able to read, like, I think it's going to be like a publisher wide thing. So
Mm.
I'm not going to dip into Fantastic Four. I'm not going to dip into Avengers for their little Doom related things, but I'll probably buy the little like spin-off series that are like proper Doom titles and things like that, because I think that'll be fun. And like Doom is so hot right now as a character that people are interested in that
Doom is so hot right now.
I think it'll be fun to follow. Well, I mean, like, yeah, after that Sanford Green thing, they're just like, oh, it turns out Doom is like a way bigger draw than we expected.
Yeah, and what's funny about that is like Doom wasn't the draw there. It was Sanford Green and Jonathan Hickman. That's what made that all great. It wasn't just like people were going gaga for Doom. Like, it was the story told through Doctor Doom that was the most compelling. I don't need to see like it's gonna be like blueberries or sriracha. Like, I don't need to see Doom in everything now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna get Doom like Burnout before the movie even happens, and it's just gonna be not even fun anymore.
The spin-offs that I'm excited about though are because technically that Doctor Strange is like a limited as part of the Doom summer event. But they're doing Strange Academy is becoming Doom Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
that'd be
that'll be a lot of fun. They're doing a Thunderbolts crossover where Thunderbolts are trying to take down Doctor Doom. And I think that's going to be great. And they're doing Supreme Avengers, where it's like it's kind of like another Thunderbolts thing where like a female Doc Ock and all these other like villains are the Doctor Doom version of the Avengers.
Hmm.
I think that looks pretty interesting.
They have to do a Marvel Unlimited comic called Doom Scrolling.
Oh, yeah.
Marvel, hit us up.
Because you read those
Yes.
like this.
Yes,
That would be sick.
Jeff the Doom Shark.
dude. Now you're talking. Talk about printing money.
Talk about it. We are the best financial podcast out right now.
Jeff the Doom Shark.
We are at an hour.
Okay.
We've reached the end of this list. We can keep going, or we can move on to the main episode. Did you have anything you wanted to touch on now, Mike, or did you want to save it for next week?
Okay, here's my thing. I am turning 40 in a couple weeks. And
Is this your goodbye? What's happening?
yeah. And a fortune teller told me that
I
that's
will be
when
calling
it's all,
everything woke in
that's
3
when
weeks.
It's all over. No, I've got an accumulation of birthday credit from different family members all asking what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said some sort of rad comic book. It would be great. Like, what would really be a treat for me is if everyone pooled their treat for Mike resources and got me a high-end comic. And I've narrowed it down to 2 comics that are on eBay at decent prices.
Okay.
Action Comics #1.
Amazing
Amazing Fantasy 15.
I have a lot of family.
Wetworks 9.6.
Okay, so there is a well-priced Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane number 70 from 1966, which is this first Silver Age appearance of Catwoman. And I
Okay.
love
Wow.
that cover. It's like the two of them going at it like catfight style.
Mhm.
And then it's got Superman has been turned into a cat and he's in like a little kryptonite cage off to the side being like, ah. It's like such a fucking rad cover. And I love collecting those first Silver Age appearances because they're kind of like it's the more modern iteration of the character and it's like attainable money wise, but they're still kind of expensive. So I was thinking about that. I'm looking at a grade around like a 4 or something. And then X-Men 94, which
Sure.
is the first Claremont X-Men. And it is, I think, a grade around like a 5 maybe is doable for what I'm working with.
Uh-huh.
And that's what, like, 3rd appearance of Wolverine, 2nd appearance of Colossus and Storm, 2nd appearance of the new X-Men, all those things. It's just like an opportunity to grab the most expensive Claremont, post-Claremont book in my run.
Sorry, Mike. I'm looking up this Superman Girlfriend Lois Lane.
Cover? That cover's
Yes.
fucking amazing, isn't it?
And it's just so Superman is a cat on this box in a
Yes.
kryptonite thing. It just says Super Pussycat, formerly Superman. It's just like
Habitat kryptonite cage. Yeah.
only in the fucking 60s is just like this is gonna be bonkers. People are gonna go nuts for this.
Yeah. Catwoman saying, turning Superman into a cat was my most perfect crime, Lois. And now I'll change you into a mouse. It's just like, I love these like crazy old DC covers are so
It's a catastrophe
Cool.
for Superman when he's bewitched by Batman's feline foe.
It's so funny to me how like those covers are like we need to explicitly say what's happening on the cover
Yes,
with
yeah.
words because
Otherwise,
no one will be able to understand otherwise.
otherwise, no one's gonna get it.
Also, Catwoman with a cape needs to come back right now.
I love the cape on Catwoman. Yeah, that old costume is really cool.
Who's writing Catwoman right now? Is that Teenie Howard?
No, Teenie Howard's gone, and someone else took over a couple months ago. I can't remember who though.
They need to bring back caped Catwoman, and Absolute Batman needs the purple gloves.
Yes. Let's get Jim Lee on the horn.
Maybe it'll
Yeah.
happen in Hush too.
Yeah.
Hush's Revenge.
Do you guys do you guys like have a if it were you, do you opt X-Men 94 or do you opt Catwoman's first Silver Age appearance? Or let me throw a third thing into the mix.
Oh God.
A mid-range espresso machine.
Okay, no.
No? That's an immediate no.
Yeah.
That was my other
You can
thing
go to
that I
go to Starbucks and get an espresso.
You can get a Nespresso for $100, Mike.
Yeah, it's not. I've been reading up on espresso machines quite a bit, and I'm told the difference between like a
What grade is
$100
it?
machine and like a $300 machine is like incredibly different.
Get the X-Men 94 because
X-Men
Oh, so yeah, I
94.
would have gone Lois Lane.
Yeah, I'm so torn. So you guys are not helping.
Let's sound off in the chat, everyone. Make your voices heard.
well,
Yeah.
we've got to vote for X-Men 94.
That is
again.
definitely more
Well,
of my like I
shut up,
collect
Brad.
I collect X-Men more, and that's definitely like
Joe asks, "What's the grade on the espresso machine?"
It's a purple label, Joe.
If I get X-Men 94 and assuming my collection is X-Men post X-Men 94 and on, like then I'm kind of all downhill from here cuz I already have 101, I've already got the Kitty Pryde, Emma Frost, I've already
Downhill
got
in a good way or a bad one? In a bad way.
downhill in like burden of cost.
Gotcha. Nope. See, Derek's smart. He's Lois Lane.
I mean, Catwoman's a huge character, right? Like, this is another thing where, like, one of my dream comics is Batgirl's first appearance, which is a Silver Age book
Mhm.
around the same
Talk about a
era
great cover.
as this. Yeah, really classic cover, but another one that's just like, that would be like 2 40th birthdays. I could pass on a gift now
80?
and say, when
When you
I'm
turn 80.
80, when I'm 80, get me this. That might be one of those books. Like I did Giant Size X-Men one.
Like all your friends are gonna be dead when you're 80. Don't even.
Yeah, I like Brad says finish X-Men up and then start a DC chase. This might be like that might be my like I slowly work on the DC first Silver Age appearances once I get all my X-Men stuff out of my system.
Okay. So it is written. So it
Okay.
shall be.
All right. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Well, we'll keep you updated, everyone, because I'm gonna try a couple last ditch efforts to help Mike change his mind to Lois Lane. But thanks for joining the stream. I think we figured out all the bumps and bruises. I had, I guess, initially set it up wrong to begin with. So how is everyone viewing this? Really, are they going through the Patreon? Are they going through YouTube? I would like to know. Just let me know in the Discord. Let me know what you want to see going forward from these streams that we're going to be doing once a month. We might post something in the Discord for like questions or something that we can answer or just make it a little more engaging. But I had a good time hanging out with everyone and seeing them, talking to them. I always enjoy these live chat things. It's maybe the best thing about this fucking live stream is talking to everyone. So until the next time we meet, remember to bag and boredom, and we will see you then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Okay,
All right.
I've clicked. All right, does our